All right, guys, let's take a look at P3, which is identify similar figures. So remember, similar figures are figures that have the same angle measurement and whose sides are proportionate to each other, okay? So if we're just checking angle measurement, we have two angles that have 2 marks, which are equal to these 2 angles, 2 angles with 1 mark, which are equal to these 2 angles. And so we are good on the angle front, okay? Now, what we want to check is to see if all the sides are proportionate. So I would do, okay, this side, that was in the straight line at all, between U and V, that connects the 2 angles with the 2 marks. I would want to check that with this guy right here, right? So these 2 should be proportionate with the other sides. So 32 over 40 is the first one that I'm going to look at, okay? And then I'm going to check that with, and I'm just going to go around at this point. Or I could do, it really doesn't matter what order you do this in. So I'll just go around 2 to 1, and I'll go over here, either 1, 2 to 1, right? So now I'm thinking 24 over 30. And I could have done the bigger one over the smaller one, and it wouldn't have mattered, okay? So just checking these proportions. I can stop and check at each one, or I can keep going. This time I'll keep going. The side between the 1 marks and the side between the 1 marks on the angles, that would be 36 over 45. And I'm writing an equal sign right now, even though I'm not really sure. If they're not equal, then I'll put not equal, and then I'll say these are not proportional, therefore these figures are not similar, okay? Let's see. One more side here between, oh my gosh, that wasn't even close. Last side, so that was, I can't even see that. 24, there we go, over 30. And I'm just having doubts right now, just looking at this, not quite sure that it's actually the same. So Miss Cook, when she taught you how to do this, she said, okay, now just reduce each fraction and see if each reduced fraction is the same. If you don't like fractions, you can actually take it to decimals if you'd rather do that. So here's what I mean. So if I do 32 divided by 40, that gives me 0.8. Okay, so this one is 0.8. If I do 24 divided by 30, that gives me 0.8 again. If I do 36 divided by 45, that gives me 0.8. I probably shouldn't have been doubting it. And if I've already done 24 divided by 30, right? It's 0.8. Now, because all of these fractions reduce to the same decimal, that means it's proportional, okay? And what it means is I could take anything from, well, actually over here, and multiply by 0.8, and I would get this number, okay? So if I took 45 and multiplied that times 0.8, I would get 36, and you can see this blue goes with this blue, right? Okay. All right, so my answer on this question would be, yes, indeed, they are similar. Okay. This entire section is like this. Look, I can't even jump a level because they're all the same. Okay, so are these shapes similar? So looking at this, going from 1 mark to 2 marks, I will go from 1 mark to 2 marks. I should be able to do that in either order and check 19 over 25. And then from 2 to 1, so from 2 to 1, now I've got 25 over 25. And I'm going to actually stop right there because this is 1. This is less than 1. So there's no way these can be equal to each other. So I'm going to say no. Okay. And so I continue on in the same vein throughout this entire one. So I would check 25 with 25. That would be 1. 42 and 51, not 1. You see what I'm saying? Like if I write 25 divided by 25, whoa, that's obviously not going to be equal to 42 over 51. And so, again, on this one, I would mark not similar. And I'm not going to continue this because I think it's pretty obvious. But again, you can just, well, actually, look at this one. These angles aren't the same. And because these angles aren't the same, it's an automatic no. Okay. Now I've got the angles that are the same, but I need to check the sides again. So just do that over and over and over again. Check the angles, check the sides, see if they're proportional. If they're not, no. And you just need to go to 90, and that's it. Okay, good luck.